Hi, welcome or welcome back to Books and Bocadillos. My name is Mariandrea, and this is Thursday Night Poetry. Welcome to another episode. I have been really excited to celebrate all things young adult with the reading event that I've been co-hosting with my friend Sui at the channel Sui's Book Banter. And the reading event is YAUGUST. During the month of August, for YAUGUST, I have been coming onto my channel and reading poetry for young adults, by young adults, or about young adults. And I have been delighted to read poetry of this category. I almost said genre, but young adult is not a genre. And so in this video, I'm going to gush about two things that I love. The first part of the video, I'm going to really gush about a local to me author. I love celebrating local authors, and a local to me author whose work I really, really admire and I really love is David Bowles. David Bowles is from South Texas, um, and he has fiction and nonfiction. He's written for adults, for the general public, and he has some young adult short stories published in the young adult anthologies. And he has this collection of poetry that I think is really amazing, and I wish more people would read and enjoy. So these are the two poems that are or poetry collections that are related by David Bowles. So the first one he published is They Call Me Güero, a Border Kids Poems by David Bowles. This was a Pura Belpre Award winner. So just a quick side note here. The Pura Belpre Award was established in 1996, and it's been given every other year since 1996 until 2009, and then after 2009, it's been an annual award. It is a recognition presented to Latino or Latina Latinx author and illustrator whose work best portrays the Latino cultural experience in a work of literature for children or youth. So I really like to read the Pura Belpre Award winners because, one, in my experience, when I read Pura Belpre Award winners, I know that these are own voices. They are people who are Latinx and who really, or Latina, and really, really, really hit the nail on the head with their narratives, the storytelling. It really does resonate with the community and the cultural experiences within the Latinx culture. And it's a big, big umbrella. There's a lot of diversity within the Latinx culture, but I like that the diversity, the colors, and the emotions and the traditions are all celebrated through this award. So um, I think this collection was very deserving of the Pura Belpre Award because it was so good. And okay, so I think that this collection, They Call Me Güero, is okay for middle grade readers. I think Güero, maybe when it starts out, he's what, 11 or 12 years old, and he grows up through the course of this teeny tiny collection. He grows up into like a young adult, like teenager age. But this one is probably good for middle grade to like the young YA audience. I think that they will see themselves in this collection. I'll I'll read two from here. I just found one I want to read. Okay, I'm going to read these two. Okay, I'm going to read the title, the titular poem, They Call Me Güero. They Call Me Güero. In my family, I have the lightest skin. My big sister Teresa is toasty brown, and little Arturo's the color of honey. But I'm pasty white, covered in freckles. Everyone's got a nickname for me. Tio Dani calls me El Pecas, while Grandpa Manuel tussles my copper hair and shouts, "Way to go, Red!" Most folks, they call me Güero. In fact, they use that word so much that when I was a little squirt, I thought it was my name. My family loves my paleness, even Teresa, who says she's jealous. I look like my grandmother, lots of Spanish and Irish blood. But at school, it's a different story, as if my complexion's on purpose. The haters say I think I'm all that. Call me el canelo chafo and laugh. Their taunts make me wish I could box like Saul Alvarez, the real Canelo. My hands ache to curl into fists and pound my problems away, but I swallow my pride, keep calm. When Dad picks me up, he can tell. What's wrong, Güero? Looks like you're ready to punch someone. As he drives, I explain, jaw tight. My dad puts his hand on mine. It's deep brown like mesquite bark or clay from Mexican soil. I wish my skin were like that, not all pink and freckled, turning lobster red in the border sun to match my rusty hair. Mijo, pale folks catch all the breaks, here and in Mexico too. Not your fault, not fair, just the way it's been for years. Doors will open for you that won't for me. My eyes fill with tears, but I didn't ask anyone to open them for me. Dad squeezes my hand. No, but now you've got to hold them open for us all. And that's so true. Um, in families, like I feel like we all have a relative that is passing that's white passing, and I think that they kind of do bear that responsibility of opening doors for the rest of us. And then the next poem is the poem that then will segue into the next one. This is Joanna la Fregona. Even when I was a little boy, still thinking girls were gross, Abuela Mimi gave me romantic advice. Find yourself a fregona, güerito, a tough one who doesn't need you at all but wants you anyway. Así como María Félix or Frida Kahlo, a woman who will be your companion, your equal in life and love. Now I know what she meant. There's a girl in my social studies class, Joanna Padilla. Can't get her off my mind. She's kind of pretty, but that's not what matters to me. She's smart and rude, takes judo classes after school, helps her dad in his body shop, loves superhero films and video games. Okay, I'm a little obsessed, I'll admit. But I have zero luck. When I ask her to be my girlfriend, she just laughs. I even write her a long poem, which she sticks in her back pocket like a restroom pass. Nothing works. After school, that bully Snake Barrera decides to rearrange my face just as Joanna goes walking by. Help me! I call, help me, Joanna. She turns and tells him to leave me alone. When she laughs and tries to hit me again, she grabs his arm and throws him down. Took guts to ask a girl for help, Joanna says as she pulls me to my feet. I liked your poem. Funny and sweet. Okay, Güero, you can be my boyfriend. I wipe blood from my lip as the kids who've gathered go ooh and ah. Then my Fregona smiles. You got any money? We can go to Rosie's. Fighting makes me hungry. So, as you can tell in this collection, Güero gets himself a girlfriend named Joanna Padilla, and Joanna la Fregona. Fregona in English would be like badass. So Joanna the badass. And so the next collection of poetry is They Call Her Fregona by David Bowles. And you can see in the cover art, they are clearly older than in They Call Me Güero. They are teenage and first love kind of relationship. And I'm going to read a couple of poems from this one. And these poems are all told by Güero's perspective still, and they call her Fregona, but these are all about Joanna. Okay. First date. Our first date's the work of our friends. When we all meet to see a film, los bobis and las morras laugh. They've bought different tickets. Holding hands with flustered stutters, Joanna and I head for our seats in the dark. The previews start. We glance around an empty theater. With my Fregona warm beside me, the boring subplots fade away, replaced by her fingers and hair, her head on my shoulder. When a night scene darkens the screen, my lips find hers, the magic breaks. When a young usher clears his throat and we yank apart fast. I'm hungry, Joanna whispers. Vamos a comer algo ya. So we abandon the dull film and walk across the street. The Asian market has groceries, but also great Korean food. We order kimbap and japchae, spicy tteokbokki too. Our friends can be irritating, I say between bites, but this time, got to give them props. So much fun, just me and my girlfriend. Joanna smiles and checks her phone. I wait, Appa will be here soon. Let me text the girls to hurry. A flurry of fingers. I sigh. It's time to face the music. And speaking of music, the next poem is Joanna's song. The song ends and my head clears. Joanna made this magic happen, a gift to me and Los Bobis, given freely, unselfishly, without our asking. But this benefit is not about me or my friends, neither is the song I have been yearning to sing during these long months of uncertain worry. Now I lean forward, finding her dark eyes flashing from the front row. The mic is a magic staff that will bring the melody of our first kiss to vibrant life. Esta es para Joanna, la mera fregona, Don Adán's beautiful daughter. Turning to the Bobbies, I shout, let's go, boys, vámonos, recio. Bobby Lee hits a key on his laptop and synth sounds begin to bounce. Handy starts his rhythm, waltzy funk. Then accordion and violin launch into our unique techno-hano sound. I strain to harmonize with Delgado for the last lines of the chorus. Yo no escogí a la fregona, ella me escogió a mí. The applause as we leave the stage is wonderful, but more magical is the kiss that's waiting for me when Joanna pulls me behind speakers. So these are really sweet poems, and it's about growing up. The first one is a lot about family, friends, and finding love, and then this is all about first love. So I really enjoy these poetry collections, and I hope you might be interested and check them out. I think they're fun. They're a fun read. Okay, and the next part of my video is just a little bit of celebratory kind of poetry reading. So Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are engaged, and I am not a full-blown Swiftie, but I do root for these two lovebirds, and I am so happy for them, and I was really excited to hear the news. So I wanted to read a poem from this collection that I purchased a little few months back, but earlier this year. It's Invisible Strings, 113 poets respond to the songs of Taylor Swift, edited by Kristie Frederick Daugherty. So I picked a poem out from this collection that I want to read that is written by one of my favorites, and it's also a poem about young adulthood, adolescence. So the poem that I want to read, and again, all of these poems are inspired by the lyrics of Taylor Swift's songs. So the poem is The Williams by Naomi Shihab Nye, and the dedication to this is in honor of Madison Cloudfeather Nye. Somehow the voices twined around a young mind, encouraging gentle stances, open endings, even in a Texas town where they wanted you to testify before cashing a check. Heck with that, boys. I'm heading out in my little gray boots, slim volumes of poetry in my holster. William of Oregon, William of Maui, drinking jasmine from an old fence, and finding a meadow, children, dandelion puffs, scraps from a vintage notebook. The double William of Paterson, New Jersey, helped keep us sane though our teachers went crazy over that wheelbarrow. Love it, then move on. Riding a train north in England to the stoop of another William's cottage, sloped roof, his sister's purple scented paper next to his, high school memory loitering, our teacher insisting his gloomy poem nearly led to death. My classmates concurred, not caring much whether some guy leapt from a cliff long ago or not, but I said, "He grieves, but he is filled with joy," in a strange voice like a ringing bell, immeasurable joy, because he grieves so much, because he loves so deeply all that he is seeing. They stared at me. I was never at home in that school. Our teacher wanted everyone to get the same thing from a poem. Later, home felt everywhere. Radiant waters, thistles, greenest hilltops dotted with sheep, masses of tulips and geese, wandering Williams's intricate paths, pausing at every turn, life stretching ahead, mountains of bliss and searing sorrow for years to come. They wrote it, we defended it. It seemed joyous enough to know one could love forever, carry on or stop right there, and the power was yours. So that is a poem written by Naomi Shihab, inspired by the music of Taylor Swift. That's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed the poetry reading. Let me know if have you ever heard of David Bowles? Have you read any of his work? What about this collection? Are you familiar with it? This is so fun, full of like a lot of really great contemporary poets that I really admire and really love to read. So I hope to read more from this collection in the future. And all the best to Taylor and Travis. That's all. Good night. Hasta la próxima.